ISUPK started on 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. Um, we're at the Black Rock Branch Library in Bridgeport, Connecticut. This is the Connecticut class. For today, we're going to go into false prophets, right? We have any questions in the room?
La, sir.
Okay. All right, so now the reason why we go into this topic, because today we know that there's a lot of false prophets out there misleading our people astray. You know what I'm saying? And it's our job to bring our people back to the law, statutes, and commandments, and actually teach them, you know what I'm saying, about the scriptures, which teaches us about our heritage and who we really are as a race of people, right? Now, there's a lot of false prophets out there that's prophesying lies, you know what I'm saying, thinking that, they're dealing with the Most High when they're really not, which ultimately leads our people astray. And as the scripture says, we have to mark them, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to find out who these false prophets are, and we're going to dispel all the lies that they are teaching, you know what I'm saying? And we all know the Christian church, they teach a lot of lies, and they produce a lot of false prophets in the earth, you know what I'm saying? Which they're leading our people astray, which is going to lead them to get destroyed. Now, my first scripture I'm about to pull is Matthew 7 and 15. All right? About mouth, if you can, I want you to grab that scripture for me.
Father, won't come.
Matthew 7 and 15. Right. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of false prophets out there, which ultimately, when our people follow these false prophets, it's going to lead toward destruction. It's going to further the curses that we're under. And it's our job as priests and prophets of the Most High to teach our people, you know what I'm saying, the truth according to the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? You got that?
Father, won't come.
All right. Make sure everybody got it, then you read.
Have it? Matthew chapter 7 and verse 15. Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing.
Right. Now it says, beware of false prophet that come to you, that come to us in sheep clothing. And we all know, some of these false prophets, you know what I mean? You have the T.D. Jakes, the Farrakhans, you know what I'm saying? Even other fake Israelite groups that's out there, you know what I'm saying? They're basically, they're basically sheeps. We are false prophets that come to you in sheep clothing, right? They're actually wolves that's trying to devour our people, right? A lot of these so-called Israelite groups out there is a perfect example, right? Basically, they're a false prophet in a sense that, they go against the truth, basically. You know what I'm saying? Because they went off and did their own thing. And like the scripture said, if you have an ought against your brother, then you should go to him and him alone. So when you go and farm your own thing, then you're basically going against the scriptures, right? And they're not following the scriptures, you know what I mean? Because they're not doing what the scripture's saying. So we're going to further go into that, you know what I mean? And basically put away with the lies that these other Israelite groups that they do. So I want you to grab, same in the book, give me Matthews 18 and 15.
So won't come. Let me finish that verse.
Drop that. Give me Matthews 18 and 15.
Akim Akwafium have it? Matthew 18, verse 15. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone.
Right. Now it's saying that, you know what I'm saying, if your brother trespass against you, you should go against thee and go and tell him his fault between thee and thee alone. Right? Read.
If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother.
Right. Now if you hear thee, you know, you gain your brother like that. Right? That's according to the scriptures. It's telling you. And this is also teaching you brotherhood. Right? Read verse 6.
Verse 16.
No, verse.
Oh,
Yeah, Slakia. Go verse 6.
Come. But if he will not hear thee, then take with thee one or two more, that,
Right.
that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses every word may be established.
Right. Now, basically, I pulled this out just to show that the scriptures is saying that, you know, if you have an ought against your brother, then you should go to him and try to work things out between your brothers, you know what I'm saying? And we all know that the ISUPK, which is the home of the truth, right? Or the ISUPK, basically under Commanding General Yohana, these other brothers that was there in the truth, they didn't go to, you know, they had an ought against Commanding General Yohana, basically, you know what I mean? And which ultimately leads to they didn't go to him and try to resolve things. That's basically what the scriptures is saying. You know what I'm saying? If you got an ought against your brother, don't hold vengeance in your heart. You should go to your brother and try to, you know, work things out. So they went off, did their own thing, which ultimately means they're going against the scriptures. So anything that they're teaching, you know, they're not ordained by the Most High, basically. You know what I'm saying? So anything that they're teaching is going against the scriptures. You know what I mean? For example, you have GMS. They're teaching that, you know, you teaching rape doctrine. You know what I'm saying? IUIC, they're definitely off. You know what I mean? And that's the product. That's what happens when you have these false prophet or fake Israelite groups out here in the world, right? I want you to drop that and go to Ephesians 4.
Come.
Right. Ephesians 4 and 4.
Come.
Because basically, I'm bringing this out to show you that when you don't follow the laws, statutes, and commandments, and you call yourself a so-called leader, if you're not following the laws, statutes, and commandments the right way, right, which the Most High says you should, right, under the teaching of Yahweh Shai, you know what I'm saying, then that means that, you know, whatever you're saying is not valid. You know what I'm saying? You know, if you're not in the ISUPK, like, you're no different than a Christian preacher, basically, right? And that's what happened when these men go off. Right.
Oh, Akim Akwafium have it? Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
There is one body.
There is what?
There is one body.
Right. Read.
And one spirit.
Read.
Even as ye are called in one hope of your calling.
Right. So one body, one spirit. You know what I'm saying? So like what we brought out earlier, if you don't go to your brother, try to resolve things, and you go out and try to do something else beyond that, then, you know, you're going against the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? Because it's one body. It's not more than one body. You know what I'm saying? Right. Salakia. Shalom. Yahweh Shem Shalom.
Shalom, brother Christ.
Yeah, I wrote it down, so maybe, you know, after class I'll relate it to you. Barmouth is here, and also the sisters as well is here. I'm gonna check when I get off the phone. Shalom, Yabba Shem Yishak B'tah. Slaki, is anybody on the conference call? Alright. Alright, so yes, like Ephesians 4:4 says, it's one body, right?
Okay.
One body, right? There's only one body. Anything else outside of the ICPK is not valid. It's not ordained by the Most High. And that's why I brought out these points to show and elaborate that anybody outside of the ICPK.
Excuse me. Hi, Ray asked me to give you this. That's the name of my assistant director. And with God's will, he has the information that I was trying to convey. But, okay, thank you.
Right. Now, one second, Chris.
Hi, Joey.
Who just joined the conference call? Anyways, all right. So we went through Ephesians, right? Basically showing you that, you know, there's only one body, right?
Okay.
And good. So I want you to drop that and give me Jeremiah 23:1.
God will come. So like you said, Jeremiah.
Yeah. Jeremiah 23:1.
23. God will come.
Right. So we're gonna further get into, you know what I'm saying, show our people who these false prophets are. We just spoke about all these fake Israelite groups out there, and we're gonna further get into all these Christian pastors and these Muslims, imams, and all of that, Egyptology. All these things are, you know, false doctrine and false philosophy that's leading our people astray.
God will come.
Alright.
Aquathium have it. Jeremiah chapter 23 and verse 1.
Uh-huh.
Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture,
Right. Right. Read on.
saith the Most High.
Say it the Most High, right? The Most High is saying, woe be unto the pastors, man, that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, right? And we know these Christian pastors out here, they're leading our people astray. You know what I'm saying? All these Christian pastors are pedophiles, right? And there's open cases against a lot of them. You know, even on Facebook, I just recently saw a video where, you know, there's a sister is basically, you know, coming forth exposing this pastor for all the molestation that he did. You know what I mean? All the Muslims out there, they're leading our people astray. They don't care about us. When you go into the mosque, you know what I'm saying? For brothers, they have different sections for them. You know what I mean? And that's why it's important for us to wake our people up, to, you know, keep them from going astray. You know what I mean? These Christians are like dumb dogs, you know what I'm saying? They're not doing no type of barking whatsoever, right?
Right.
That's why it's up to us to basically, you know, come out here and teach our people. Read verse 2.
Verse 2. Therefore thus saith the Most High Power of Israel against the pastors that feed my people. Ye have scattered my flock, and driven them away, and have not visited them.
Right.
Behold,
Uh-huh.
I will visit upon you the evil of your doings, saith the Most High.
Right. And it's exactly what's going to happen to all of these evil pastors out there, man. The Most High is going. That's the Most High is saying He's going to visit them for all the evils that they've done. You know what I'm saying? Like basically the Christian pastors, they drink the wine, you know what I'm saying? And they're doing everything only for the love of money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they're teaching a doctrine that was implemented during slavery, you know what I'm saying, to further destroy our people. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of them in the churches, you know, they don't care about our people. As long as they're getting paid, that's just it. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of videos out there which is evidence for what we're saying. You know what I'm saying? The scriptures in itself is evidence for what we're saying. And like I said, it's our duty to basically bring our people back. You know what I'm saying? Bring our people back to the law, statutes, and commandments that's mentioned in the scriptures. Read verse 3.
Go to 1 Con, verse 3. And I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all countries, whether I have driven them, whether I have driven them, and will bring them again to their folds.
Right.
And they shall be fruitful and increase.
Read verse 4.
Verse 4. And I will set up shepherds over them which shall feed them, and they shall fear no more, nor be dismayed, neither shall they be lacking, saith the Most High.
Right. Now, notice it always saying, saith the Most High. You know what I mean? This is not our words. This is the Most High's words. And it says, I will set up shepherds over them. You know what I'm saying? Which shall feed them. Right? And that's what the ISUPK is. That's what all the priests and prophets are. You know what I'm saying? It's the shepherds that the Most High set up over the people. Right? Because it's our job and it's our duty to lead and to teach our people, which ultimately will bring them back to the Most High. And once we're back to the Most High, He's going to set us on high. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
The Most High, He's not in the Christian churches. You know what I mean? He's not there. The Most High is with the ISUBK. You know what I mean? Because we're ordained by the Most High. We're the shepherds that's mentioned in the scriptures that the Most High set up to lead the people, right?
Okay.
All right, drop that and give me no.
Okay.
I want you to drop that and give me Jeremiah 23 and 25. Before you give me that, go to Romans 16 and 17. Right?
Romans what, sir?
Romans 16 and 17.
Okay.
Right. Now I'm pulling this scripture right here because basically when you start to realize who these false prophets are, you know what I'm saying, based on the teaching that we're given, there's something that you must do. You know what I mean? Before we further, you know, start to expose other false prophets out there. You have that scripture?
Okay.
Okay, read that.
Romans chapter 16 and verse 17. Now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause division and offenses, contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them.
Right. Now it's basically saying mark them, right? Which cause division and offenses contrary to the doctrine, right? Which you have learned, and avoid them. Now, when we know who these false prophets are, you know what I'm saying? The Al Sharptons, Martin Luther King, Jesse Jackson, who else? Who else is a false prophet?
T.D. Jakes.
T.D. Jakes. Who else? Creflo Dollar, right? Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Now the scripture is saying that we have to mark them. You know what I mean? And you know, it's just like how it's worded here. This further goes to show you that, you know, the Bible is a black man's book. Because that's just how we talk. You know what I'm saying? We always talk like that. If somebody doing something dirty, you know you should mark them, right? And like the scriptures say, you should avoid them. You know what I mean? We have to avoid all these false prophets because they're going to lead you astray. basically. You know what I'm saying? And when they lead you astray, you're gonna get destroyed. So it's our job and our duty to make sure that our people is not destroyed in this empire, right? Now, so we know that we're supposed to mark all of these false prophets. I want you to go back to Jeremiah,
23 and 25.
right?
Anyone come?
Just make sure everybody's there.
And also, another false prophet that I've been hearing a lot about
Mm-hmm.
is Apostle Geno Jennings.
Yeah.
I've never heard of him before.
Yeah, he's just another one of those gay Christian preachers out there. You know what I'm saying? All dressed up in a suit and tie. Try to act like, trying to be us basically, priests and prophets of the Most High.
Right.
You know what I mean? 'Cause a lot of times, all those Christian pastors, they always tell you that the laws are done away with, but yet still, they're still collecting tithes. They're still
Right.
teaching our people that we could eat pork. You know what I'm saying? Which is unlawful. They teach you that you could eat pork and do all of these sins. You know what I'm saying? And the only thing you have to do is just come to church on Sunday, or just pray over the pork, and it will be blessed. You know what I'm saying? All of those things are abomination unto the Most High, right? And yeah, all these Christian pastors, man, they all playing on the same team. You know what I'm saying? They are the modern day scribes and Pharisees that was going against Yahushai. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that you can know that that they are the ones that's reincarnated back into the earth. You know what I'm saying? Based on the works that they do.
Right.
Right. So another false prophet we're going to talk about is Martin Luther King. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of our people don't know that Martin Luther King was actually mentioned in the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? For all the sins, and basically he's one of them that we have to mark. You know what I'm saying? He was leading our people astray, because like every Christian pastor and every Christian out there, they're full of lust. You know what I'm saying? And your lust will drive you to do unlawful things. You know what I'm saying? Your lust will cause you to transgress against the Most High, against the scriptures, right?
Anyone come?
So give me Jeremiah 23 and 25.
Oh, Akim Akwakim have it? Jeremiah chapter 23 and verse 25.
Mm-hmm.
I have heard what the prophet said, that prophesy lies in my name, saying, I have dreamed, I have dreamed.
Right. So Jeremiah 23 and 25 said, I have heard what the prophet said, that prophesy lies in my name, saying, I have dreamed, I have dreamed. You know what I'm saying? And that's a famous line or quote or saying, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you want to call it, that, Martin Luther King said. You know what I mean? And this was written, you know what I'm saying, long ago, before he was even born. Which proved, scriptures like these prove to you how real and alive this book is, you know what I'm saying? Which is the Bible, King James Bible, 1611. You know what I'm saying? This is the true word of the Most High right here, and it actually prophesied, you know what I'm saying, telling you about Martin Luther King, all the sins and abomination and the lust that he was a very lustful man. You know what I'm saying? Had a lustful white woman, right?
Right.
Lead our people. He had that march he had, right? He didn't even march back with our people. He took a plane back. That goes to show you, you know what I'm saying, where he stand. You know what I mean? He just basically led all the people to slaughter. You know what I'm saying? Teaching them that Christianity, and he knew, because before he died, he himself said it, that, he led his people into a burning house.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's one of those dumb dogs that wasn't barking. He's soft. That's what Christianity makes you. It makes you soft, man, like wet bread. You know what I mean? And that's why the ISUPK and the truth of the scriptures is so important. You know what I'm saying? Because we teach men how to be masculine. You know what I mean? We teach men that, you know, you got to stand up, speak up for your people, say something. You know what I mean? Because our people out here is dying. You know what I'm saying? And one of the reasons is because of Christianity. You know what I'm saying? One of the reasons is because our people is into Egyptology, which believes in witchcraft. You know what I'm saying? The Muslim, you know, being a Muslim, you're basically following Allah, becoming a slave to a different nation. You know what I mean? This is what happens when our people go astray and follow all of these false prophets out there. Farrakhan, you know what I mean? He's basically leading our people astray. Malcolm X, he was teaching that Muslim thing. You know what I mean? In which ultimately our people gonna get destroyed.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Salaki, sir, son of man.
Who?
Son of man, the current so-called leader of the Nation of Islam.
Right.
He's also.
Oh yeah, that's one of them that called in
Right.
on the show, right?
Khan.
Right. These men are just straight delusional, man. You know what I mean? The Most High is not dealing with them. You know what I'm saying? The Most High is dealing with the ISUPK. You know what I mean? Commanding General Yana, right? That's who the Most High is dealing with. How do you know? Because most of everything that we say that, you know, Commanding General says, you know, pertaining to the scriptures, have come to pass. You know what I mean? Everything that we say is straight valid, right? And we help change the lives of black people and black women. You know what I'm saying? Hispanic men and women, and also Native Indian men and women also, right? The Most High is with us. You know what I'm saying? I want you to drop that scripture and go to Colossians 2:8.
Khan.
Right.
Oh, Akim Akwafim have it? Colossians chapter 2 and verse 8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit,
Right.
after the tradition of men.
Right. Read that again.
Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit.
Right. So basically, we can't. You know what I'm saying? The scriptures is actually warning us, man. It's telling us, you know, what's to come, what we're supposed to look out for, right? And here in the ICBK, this is what we teach our people. You know what I mean? Not to get caught up in this world, in this society, right? Or everything, because everything that, if you're not teaching what the scriptures is saying, then that's a vain thing, man. You know what I'm saying? It's not valid. It's empty, right?
Right.
Every other fake Israelite group out there is doing a vain thing, right? All the Egyptologists out there, whatever group that they're in, whatever they're teaching, it's a vain thing. You know what I'm saying? Because it holds no weight. You know what I mean? If you're not teaching the law, statutes, and commandments, you know what I'm saying, under Commanding General Honor and the ICBK, then it's a vain thing, because we're the ones that the Most High, you know, ordains to put the truth out there in this empire, basically. You know what I'm saying? In the world, and the scriptures is basically telling you to beware, as any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit. You know what I'm saying? You know, basically it's telling you to be aware of these people. You know what I'm saying? Don't allow them to come and just tell you anything and then you fall for it. You know what I mean? Because when you really think about it, like, what's really out there? There's nothing out there. You You know what I'm saying? Who's out there? When you think about Egyptology, you know, they're not telling you nothing. The one thing they're telling you is to worship dead people, mummies and all that. You know what I'm saying? Their so-called gods, their gods are not alive. You know what I'm saying? Their philosophy is not fixing black people. Because a lot of people that's in that Egyptology is still out there getting high, you know what I mean, being destroyed. You know what I mean? The Muslims out there, they're still selling people drugs. There's a lot of people running around here talking about they're Muslims. They go to jail, they come out, they're a Muslim, they're selling drugs still. You know what I'm saying? Because they look at it and be like, oh, well, him over there that they're selling drugs to, he's not Muslim. So they're going to do it regardless. You know what I'm saying? And I know plenty of Muslims. And they're basically Christians. You know what I'm saying? And Christians are hypocrites. You know what I mean? I want to read right there after vain deceit.
After the tradition of men,
Mm-hmm.
after the rudiments of the world,
Yeah,
and not after Christ, Hamashiach.
right. Not after, Yahweh Shai. You know what I mean? Right. So everything that we're doing, it's off Yahweh Shai, off his teachings, you know what I'm saying? It's off the Most High, you know what I mean? So that means that it's not vain, you know what I'm saying? That's why the truth that we pushing, that we're teaching is very important. And it's important for our people to know the truth. You know what I mean? When you know the truth, then you'll know that, what's the right thing. Get me? All these other philosophies and everybody that's teaching these false philosophies, they don't care about our people. All of them, they want to have Mercedes and Phantoms and live in a big house, just like the Christian preacher. You know what I'm saying? Everything out there that's not of the ICPK, it is Christianity. You know what I'm saying? So, I definitely like to bring out that point. I want you to drop that and go to 2 Timothy 4 and 3.
Come.
Do you have any question? Anything you want to add?
I'd like to add, as we're reading Jeremiah 23,
Yeah.
1 through 4, you made a heavy point that the topic is the false prophets, but in contrast, the righteousness of the men that the Lord raises up, which would be ISUPK.
Right.
I was wondering if we could read verse 5.
Verse 5.
Come.
All right, go. You could grab it.
Come. Jeremiah chapter 23 and verse 5. Behold, the days come, saith the Most High, that I will raise unto David a righteous branch, and a king shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth.
Right. So what else do you want to add?
Well, I just want to add that that the ISUPK is that branch.
Right. Yeah, that's very true, right? What you said. You know what I'm saying? We are that branch, right?
Right.
And right, hold on, let me grab that.
Come, sir.
That's 23, 1 and 5, right? Yeah.
Come.
Right. It says, behold, the days come, saith the Most High, that I will raise unto David a righteous branch. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? That righteous branch is the ISUPK. You know what I'm saying? And the king shall reign and prosper. Right? And that king, we know that's Yahweh Shai. You know what I'm saying? Because we're doing all the work here. You know what I mean? Until Yahweh Shai comes back. Right?
That's right.
We're building the army of Yahweh, basically. You know what I'm saying? And we know our king is Yahweh Shai, right? Which is going to reign over all the earth. You know what I'm saying?
Come.
So That's a very good point, you know, that you brought out. And we know that when Yahweh Shai comes back, you know what I'm saying, he shall execute judgment and justice in the earth. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that's a very heavy, heavy, heavy point right there. That's why our job is so important. You know what I'm saying? We have to stay on our job, you know what I'm saying, 24/7. Because all the evil men, all the false prophets out there, they're on their jobs 24/7. So the only way to really combat that is to be on our job, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Be on our job hearing this truth that the Most High, we're that righteous branch the Most High put out there.
God
Because
will
without
come.
the ISUPK, everybody basically it would be like dry bones. Everybody's dry bones out here without the ISUPK.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's our job. It's our job to put life in these dry bones. You know what I mean?
God will come.
So the truth is it's a very beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? Which ultimately leads to brotherhood. You know what I mean? It's helping, teaching the scriptures, showing our people the truth. That's brotherhood.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because with the scriptures comes correction. You know what I'm saying? And the right way in which we should live our lives. You know, which is ultimately going to save lives.
Right.
Right?
God will come.
Right. So definitely appreciate that point that you brought up.
Most High Christ.
Where we at?
2 Timothy 4:3, sir.
Right.
Akim Aquathium have it.
Con.
2 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 3. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine,
Mm-hmm.
but after their own lusts shall they heap to themselves teachers.
Right. And that basically, you know, right there, basically is telling you about these Christian pastors, man. You get what I'm saying? Every philosophy out there that basically we've been talking about, you know what I'm saying? You know, that it says, for the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lusts shall they heap themselves teachers. You know what I'm saying? And this also goes for all those fake Israelite groups out there, man. You know what I'm saying? This right here is perfect scriptures right there, which shows that they cannot endure the sound doctrine. You know what I'm saying? Well, you know, the scriptures is the sound doctrine. You know what I'm saying? And this right here is prophesying, showing you that we're going to have all these fake Israelite groups out there. Because, you know, all of them basically was in this one body that we brought out in Ephesians 4 and 4.
God will come.
You know what I mean? And they couldn't endure the sound doctrine. You know what I'm saying? All the fake Israelite groups out there, the scriptures cut them up in so many different ways. That's why we're bringing scriptures out like these to show you that they are false prophets. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, like I said, ISUPK is what the Most High erected in the earth. You know what I'm saying? To open up the mysteries of the scriptures, basically. You know what I'm saying? He said it's one body. He never said it's more than one.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we have to beware and mark these false prophets out there. You know what I'm saying? Because they're teaching, you know, that you could love Esau, that you could, you know, sleep with Esau, you could, you know, rape girls and, you know, wear purple and all that extra stuff. You know what I mean? We don't do that here. GOCC, you know, they have white people in their organization or whatever they got going on. You know what I'm saying? And you know, they're just being Christians at the end of the day.
Right.
You know what I mean? I have to really beware of Christianity. It's a very evil thing. Christianity will have your family turning against you.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's what we're bringing out, you know, because this battle that this is spiritual warfare. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that we're actually talking about it is combating, you know, combating that spew in the earth. You know what I'm saying?
God won't come.
I want you to finish that.
Having itching ears.
Yeah. Read
Verse,
for-
verse 4.
Yeah.
Verse 4. And they shall turn away their ears from the truth, and shall be turned unto fables.
Right. You know what I'm saying? They turn away their ears from the truth, man. And that's what happened with a lot of our people out there too when they follow these people. You know what I mean? Because they, eventually what will happen is they ain't getting the truth from them. So they turn away a lot of people, man. You know what I'm saying? They themselves turn their ears away from the truth. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we telling our people. Don't follow them because they don't know what they're doing. Right? Drop that and give me Psalms 55 and 21.
So like is it Psalms 55 and 21?
Yeah.
God won't come.
Any questions?
No, sir.
Anything you want to add to that?
Allah, sir.
Yeah. How about the sisters? Right. It's pretty straightforward what we're bringing out. You know what I'm saying? Because we have to identify, you know what I'm saying, who the enemy is. Mark them down, avoid them. You know what I'm saying? And we have to bring this out to basically teach our people, you know what I'm saying? We have to write these scriptures down, so we can have them in our arsenal for anybody that's try to come and teach us anything different.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like we've been talking about, for example, the Jehovah's Witnesses. You know what I'm saying? They have a very serious agenda. They have a very serious job that they're doing, and they're not stopping. So we can't stop. The Jehovah's Witnesses are going, which is another, they spread their propaganda. They're trying to do it, every Saturday, Sunday, whenever. They go door to door, spreading their false doctrine. You know what I mean? Non-stop. And it's just, I don't know, they're just so off. You walk around with a pamphlet, with people in the pamphlet that don't even look like you. And they have a lot of our people out there doing the works. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This is why we have to destroy what they got going on. Because if we don't do it, they're going to further destroy our people. All right?
Right.
Yeah, 55 and 21.
God won't come. Oh, Akim Akwakim have it?
Salakia, before you do that, start from 20.
God won't come.
Uh-huh.
Psalms chapter 55 and verse 20. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him.
Right.
He hath broken his covenant.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So, basically, I brought that out to show you that, when you follow these false doctrines, that's what's going to happen to you. You know what I'm saying? Things are going to happen to you, and then you wonder why it's happening to you. Because you're not dealing with the Most High. You know what I'm saying? So you got to live out that punishment, right, of Esau, you know what I mean, being, very violent towards you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Breaking all his covenants, all his promises, destroying our people. You know what I'm saying? All our people that's dying in the streets, whether it's being shot down by the cops or basically, being lynched. You know what I mean? This is what happens when you go astray and you follow these false prophets. Read verse 21.
Verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But war was in his heart.
Right. This is talking about Esau. You know what I'm saying? That's what Esau does. You know what I mean? And the pastors are no different than them because the pastors have been trained by Esau. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the pastors, they come with that smooth talk. You know what I'm saying? This they get their training from Esau, which basically teach them to speak like that, right? Smooth words with wars in his heart. All right, read.
Khan. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And that's just being a hypocrite. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like I said, you know, that's what Christianity teaches. Right? Esau teaches that. And that's what a lot of these pastors do. Right? Drop that. Give me Ezekiel 34 and 2. And there's a lot of false prophets amongst our people. You know what I'm saying? They're just wearing sheep clothing. We're going to further expose them. Ezekiel 34 and 2.
Khan.
Make sure everybody's there.
Khan. Hawakim Akwathim have it? Ezekiel chapter 34 and verse 2. Son of man, prophesy against the shepherds of Israel.
Slakia, start from verse 1.
Khan. Ezekiel chapter 34 and verse 1. And the word of the Most High came unto me, saying,
Mm-hmm.
Son of man, prophesy against the shepherds of Israel.
Right.
Prophesy, excuse me, prophesy and say unto them, Thus saith the Most High Powers unto the shepherds, Woe be to the shepherds of Israel that do feed themselves.
Right. Now, well, what does this sound like to you? Is it saying, okay, let me read it. It says, And the word of the Most High came unto me, saying, Son of man, right? Prophesy against the shepherds of Israel, right? Okay, so, and then it says, Prophesy and say unto them, Thus saith the Most High Power unto the shepherds, Woe be to the shepherds of Israel that do feed themselves. What do you think that's saying? Or who do you think that's talking about?
Salakia, the false prophets.
Right.
The T.D. Jakes,
Uh-huh.
the Geno Jenkins, the
Right.
Jesse Jacksons,
Mhm.
the Al Sharptons.
Right. That's exactly right. You know what I mean?
Destruction to them.
Right. And, you know, that's why we do what we do. We're just following what the law, statutes, and commandments say. It says to go out there and prophesy against these people. You know what I mean? A lot of people always ask why we talk about them so much. We're just following the law, statutes, commandments. That's what it's basically
Okay.
saying.
That's right.
We go out there and we have to destroy everything that they're doing. 'Cause like I said, it's a spiritual battle. You know what I'm saying? Right? So,
Okay.
you know, all the false prophets out there, you have your Charles Barkley's, you know, your Oprah Winfrey's, whoever, what's another one?
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan. How you can forget
Kobe
him?
Bryant.
What's that bald-headed, buff teeth one there? You know who I'm talking about. He on that Family Feud.
Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey, man. I can't stand him.
Right.
Right? And a lot of the entertainers, man, it's Kanye West talking about slavery is a choice and all that. Like, these people are destroyed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what Christianity does to you.
Salakia, slavery is a choice, but you choose a white woman
Right.
that destroys black men.
Right? You see the hypocrisy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they all play a game on us, on our people.
Right.
And that's why I'm trying to tell you, the truth is so important. You know, we have to mark these people down. Mark them. We can't trust them. Because we know they've been taught by Esau.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Esau, Ishmaelites, they're working for all these other nations, you know what I'm saying, trying to feed themselves. That's exactly what the scriptures say.
Right.
So read it from top again, 34 and 1, Ezekiel.
Ezekiel 34 and 1. And the word of the Most High came unto me, saying, Son of man, Prophesy against the shepherds of Israel.
Right.
Prophesy, and say unto them, Thus saith the Most High Powers unto the shepherds, Woe be to the shepherds of Israel that do feed themselves.
Right. And that's what Most High is telling you. To tell them, woe unto them, man, that's trying to feed themselves. Right? Charles Barkley out there that's talking, he's every chance he get, he want to talk about, you know, black men being thugs, and
Right.
basically he's trying to say we're worthless. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Bill Cosby.
right. Bill Cosby. You see what happens, right?
Right.
That's what happens to you when you go against the children of Israel. The Most High, he's gonna pay you a visit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's why he's going through what he's going through. Charles Barkley's next.
Right.
What's his face is next too. What's it? Steve Harvey. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Steve Harvey's next.
Right.
All of them. You know what I'm saying? You got Oprah that's donating money all the way over Africa somewhere, and you know, you got people in the ghettos out here that's starving, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's why it's up to us really to really, you know, build this nation up and to save our people,
Right.
because nobody else is gonna do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Read on.
Should not the shepherds feed the flocks?
Right. It's a question right there is asked. You know, shouldn't they be feeding the flock?
Right.
We all know the Christian pastors too. They're just feeding themselves.
That's
You know
right.
what I'm saying? The Muslims are doing the same thing. You know, Egyptology people, they're doing the same thing. They're hustling too. You know what I mean? You're not feeding the flocks. Right?
Right.
Read verse 3.
Verse 3. Ye eat the fat, and ye clothe you with the wool. Ye kill them that are fed, but ye feed not the flock.
Right, they're not feeding the flock, man. They're not. We are out here feeding the flock. We're helping our brothers and sisters every chance we get. That's what we're doing. You know what I mean? We're feeding you spiritually. You know what I'm saying? Physically. You know, we do so much. We have a lot of donations, a lot of things that we do. You know, especially in like Puerto Rico the other day in the hurricane. We're out there feeding the flocks, you know what I'm saying? Providing food and clothing and medical help. You know what I'm saying? Here in America, wherever our people is suffering, we're there. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's giving counsel, you know, trying to supply brothers with, you know, helping them with rent, clothes, you name it. You know what I'm saying? We're feeding the flock out here,
Right.
right?
That's lucky, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Puerto Rico, for so long they were only saying 200 to 300 casualties.
Right.
Now, last week and a week and a half ago, after taking another look at the numbers and going around and making census,
Mm-hmm.
now it's jumped up to 3,000, over 3,000.
Oh, man.
It's still rising because people still don't have power,
Yeah.
or there's been deaths due to complications from the hurricane.
Uh-huh.
And you know, just to show that, you know, America and all the elites,
Yeah.
if they really cared, they would have definitely done something about it. They say it's the worst natural disaster,
Right.
worse than as far as a fallout, worse than any natural disaster in the past 20 years. So all the disasters that happen, where the floods happen
Mm-hmm.
and the hurricanes happen here in the U.S.,
Right.
it's worse than those.
And that's what our people have to go through.
Right.
You know that when the hurricane was there, right? The people had to have some. I heard they had to have like identification to
Right.
get help and all of that.
Right.
It's like how evil can you be?
Right.
And Puerto Rico is supposed to be like a territory, right, of America, right?
Right. U.S. territory.
Right. You got Donald Trump out there, you know, playing playing basketball with the paper towels, man. That
Right.
just goes to show you what he thinks about you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And a lot of these, Esau know exactly who we are. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And that's why it's important for us to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments. That's our job. You know what I mean? We're out here to save souls, save our people. You know what I mean? And having a closed mouth, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna help. You know what I mean?
Another one come.
Right.
Slacky, sir.
Yeah.
Can we go to 4?
Yeah, go to 4.
Another one come. The diseased have ye not strengthened, neither have ye healed that which was sick, neither have ye bound up that which was broken, neither have ye brought again that which was driven away, neither have ye sought that which was lost, but with force and with cruelty have ye ruled them.
Yeah, man. You know what I mean? And this, all these scriptures right here is just, is basically telling you about every single false philosophy out there. That's not a sound doctrine. And it's telling you also about what the people, the false prophets, what they're doing. Because what it says right there, it says the diseases have ye not strengthened,
Right.
neither have ye healed that which was sick.
Right.
You know what I mean? A lot of this
That's right.
stuff is spiritual.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't fix what's broken, right?
Right.
They're basically just worried about themselves. That's why it says right there in what verse was that? Verse 2, right? Where it's basically telling you the shepherds, they're not feeding the flock.
Right.
They're just worried about themselves. They're feeding themselves. They want to get fat, and nobody else should get fat. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
That's that selfishness. That's why we always tell people, that's why we always go against Christian church so much, because we know the games that they're playing. You know what I'm saying? And the scriptures basically is giving a description of the pastors, the so-called deacons that's in there, or whatever they want to call themselves. It's going against them 100%. And they know. They don't care. You know what I'm saying? I just saw a tape with T.D. Jakes, out there leading the people astray. You know what I'm saying? Trying to discredit the ICPK, basically, right? And talk about the white man and his brother. And we know, it's common sense when you really think about certain things. You know what I'm saying? Esau is killing you. So how are you going to look at that person and say, this is their brother? That's what we're trying to combat. Because Christianity does that.
Right.
That's how a Christian thinks.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's just straight stupid.
Slacky.
Mm-hmm.
And if he was actually teaching the Bible like he claims he is, instead of that false doctrine,
Mm-hmm.
he would see the physically a brother, but spiritually an enemy,
Mm-hmm.
and he would teach it.
Right. He don't do that. He go against the scriptures in every way.
Right.
All of them. And
Right.
they all correspond with each other. What's his name? Eddie Long.
Right.
It's how the Most High punishes him.
That's right.
He got dried up like a prune.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? He
That's
got,
right.
no, it's true. Like, he got
Okay.
dried up. When I saw his picture, I was like, oh, man.
I don't want to he withered away.
Withered away. And you got people out there that's, oh, Eddie Long. You know what I'm saying? It's just like that's just how lost the people are, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And when we try to open their eyes up, a lot of our own people try to come against us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't want
And we have to give them the medicine to fix them, because they don't know that they're sick.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Slacky, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Can you read 5?
Yeah, we're gonna go to it.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
and they were scattered because there is no shepherd.
Right.
And they became meat to all the beasts of the field
Mm-hmm.
when they were scattered.
Right. That's important.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, it says, verse 5, and they were scattered because there is no shepherd.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Without the ICBK, there's no shepherds out here.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Our job is very important. You know, 24/7.
Right.
You know, whether we are, you know, in our neighborhoods, wherever, our people need counseling. You know, they're gonna have questions. We have to answer them. You know what I mean?
Right.
We're the shepherds, right? And look, the scripture is saying that, you know, they have no shepherds, so they become scattered and become meat, right, to all the beasts of the field. You know, it's basically like in our neighborhoods. Everywhere you go, everybody's setting up shop.
Right.
The shops are not being set up in you know, all the beasts' neighborhoods. You know, Esau's neighborhood, Moab, Ishmaelites, you know, all around town here in Bridgeport, you know, or wherever we live, there's always Chinese restaurants, you know, taking the money away, going back to their community. Elam has the gas stations. You know, Ishmaelites have the tire shops, the Crown Fried Chickens, you know.
Right. Kennedy's.
We all know that Esau is running the whole show.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're all working for Esau. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, you know, we become meat. You know what I'm saying? Everybody tearing us apart. You know what I mean? Because the shepherds are not doing their job. These false prophets, they're not doing their job. You know, they're the ones that they languish. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Jeremiah 14:2 says. Actually, I want you to get that real quick, and we're gonna come back to that. Jeremiah 14:2. So hold where you at right now.
Okay.
We're gonna get that real quick. Jeremiah 14:2.
Jeremiah, Aquathim have it?
Fine.
Jeremiah, chapter 14 and verse 2. Judah mourneth,
Right.
and the gates thereof languish.
Right. Judah mourning. Judah is talking about us, every black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian. Right? And it says, and the gates thereof language. Right? Those gates, like, you know, we know the gate is for protection.
Right.
You know, we have no protection out here. That's why Judah is in mourning. You know what I'm saying? Or the shepherd that's supposed to lead us is leading us astray, basically. You know what I'm saying? They languish because they're weak. You know what I'm saying? They have that feminine vibe on them.
Right.
A lot of times you see them, they have that gay apparel on. You know what I'm saying? Which shows you that, you know, those false prophets is not ordained by the Most High. You know what I'm saying?
Come.
Because when they're there languishing, we're in mourning.
Right.
The scripture is saying that. It's not my words. You know what I'm saying? Right? Finish that verse.
Come. They are black unto the ground.
Right. Which is further describing Judah, which is every black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian. You
Right.
know?
And the cry of Jerusalem is gone up.
Right. So the gates are languishing. We're crying, mourning, right?
Right.
And the cries have gone up. You know what I'm saying? These cries, that's just how much, how much oppression that we're under, basically.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the cry has gone up unto the Most High, right? So, you know, all these false prophets out here, they're languishing, man. They're weak. Esau don't respect them. You know what I'm saying? We get, you know, Esau look at us more of men of standards, you know what I'm saying? We're not drinking the wine out here. You know what I'm saying? We're not blind. We're not dry bones. You know what I mean? We're not languishing. You know know what I mean? That's our job here in the ICPK, right?
Right.
We're here fixing our people, man. You know what I'm saying? We're feeding the flock. You know what I mean? That's the difference between us and false prophets out there. These fake Israelite groups out there. You know what I mean? Read verse 6. Ezekiel 34 and 6.
Come on, come. Ezekiel chapter 34 and verse 6. My sheep wandered through all the mountains
Mm-hmm.
and upon every high hill. Yea, my flock was scattered upon all the face of the earth, and none did search or seek after them.
Yeah, man. Nobody is searching and seeking for us. You know what I mean? That's why the Most High put the ICPK here. That's why we're here. That's why we're here today in this room. You know what I'm saying? Teaching our people, right?
Right.
We have to seek and search and go after our people because they're out there lost. You know what I'm saying? No matter how much, you know, we at camp or class, you know, you have people out there, you know, in the comments coming at us, you know, whether we're at camp, we got people coming up against us. You know what I'm saying? We have to get through that fight. You know what I'm saying? And be strong spiritually.
Right.
You know what I mean? No matter how much they try to hate us because, you know, they don't know the truth and we're basically trying to teach them it.
Right.
Right, alright.
So I got one.
Yeah.
What we read just now.
Yeah.
And just the route of the topic.
Mm-hmm.
Our people don't, you know, they're not following the law, statutes, commandments first and foremost, and then you have these false prophets teaching them further not to. And in Deuteronomy 28, if I may.
Yeah, you could grab that.
Deuteronomy 28 and verse 28. The Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness
Right.
and astonishment of heart.
That's right.
Verse 29.
Mm-hmm.
And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways.
Right.
And thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee.
Right. That's exactly what's gonna happen.
Right.
You know what I mean? When we don't come back to the law, statutes, and commandments. You know, a lot of our people out there, man, they're smite with madness, man.
Right.
They're just insane in their brains. You know what I'm saying? It's real. Especially you follow, you notice some of the people in the Egyptology,
All right.
they're just crazy, man. Trust me.
All over.
All over the place.
Right.
And another thing too, which our people go astray in that Rastafarianism.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of brothers out there, a lot of jakes, and smoking the marijuana. After they smoke it with the marijuana mixed with the tobacco. You know what I'm saying? And we know that the smoking is unlawful. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I know a lot of people that smoke until the Most High smite them with madness. I know people that happened to them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like their brain is just dead. You know what I'm saying? And you know, when you don't come back to the law, statutes, and commandments, you know what I'm saying? The oppression is just going to be great.
That's right.
The oppression is going to be increased.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And because we love our people, you know what I mean? So we try to teach our people the right way.
Right.
You know, being in the truth, the Most High opens up the mysteries of the scriptures to us. You know what I'm saying? He opens it up to us because he knows that we're worthy, you know what I'm saying? And we're doing the works. So, you know, we're not selfish. You know what I mean? We're feeding the flock. Like the scripture is saying, we're supposed to, you know.
Okay.
Supposed to feed the flock. And we're feeding the flock by basically teaching the law, statutes, and commandments, you know what I'm saying? Which is very important. Right?
Okay.
Right, so we finish on that precept there.
God will come.
Right. Now, before we end the class, I want to further bring out, you know, about these false prophets, because I feel like sometimes we gotta know how to identify them. You know what I mean?
Right.
You gotta know how to identify them. So real quick, give me James 2:2.
God won't come. Oh, Akim or Quathium have it.
Right, read.
The book of James, chapter 2 and verse 2. For if there come unto your assembly a man with a gold ring,
Right, a man with a gold ring. Right, read.
in goodly apparel,
In goodly apparel, man. Right, read.
and there come in also a poor man in vile raiment.
Yeah.
Verse 3. And ye have respect to him that weareth the gay clothing,
Read.
and say unto him, Sit thou here in a good place.
Right.
And say to the poor, Stand thou there, or sit here under my footstool.
Sit there under his footstool. Right. A man of Most High, you would never tell somebody that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We don't look down on our people here. You know what I'm saying? I want you to take that back from the top right there.
God will come. You will start at 1 or start
Yeah.
at 2?
Yeah, start from one.
God will come. The book of James, chapter 2 and verse 1. My brethren, have not the faith of the Most High, no, Salakia. Have
Our
not
Lord.
the faith of
Our Lord.
our Lord Hamashiach,
Mm-hmm.
Yahushua Hamashiach,
Right.
the Lord of glory,
Mm-hmm.
with respect of persons.
Right. Read verse 2.
For if there come unto your assembly a man with a gold ring,
Right. A man with a gold ring.
in goodly apparel,
Right. In goodly apparel. Right.
And-
That means, you know, a man with a gold ring, he's not in goodly apparel. He's not rocking studs on his garments. You know what I'm saying?
right,
He's not wearing his warlike apparel.
right,
Right? So he's dressed nicely in soft linen. You get me?
God will come. Purple.
In purple, right? You know what I'm saying? In purple and try to look all cute. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like the scriptures is saying, and fine linen.
Right,
You know what I mean? They don't look like soldiers. You know what I'm saying?
God will come. Crushed velvet and velour.
Yeah, they're like that. That silky feel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They ain't rocking no studs,
God will come.
right?
God will come.
No warlike apparel. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Read on.
And there come in also a poor man in vile raiment,
Right. Verse 3.
and ye have respect to him that weareth the gay clothing,
Mm-hmm.
and say unto him, Sit thou here in a good place.
Yeah. So they respect the man in the gay clothing, man.
Right.
We see that today. You know, the men that's so-called in these velvet suits. You know what I'm saying? Rocking all purple and all that.
God will come.
Right? Finish reading that.
And say to the poor, Stand thou there, or sit here under my footstool.
Yeah, man. All those rich men, man. You know what I mean? You gotta learn. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, we gotta identify them. 'Cause a lot of those rich men, they're just planning to further oppress us. You know what I'm saying? You know, we're in how we dress here in studs and our garments, and you know, that's how you're supposed to dress with your fringes on. You know, not at the end of your t-shirt. You know what I'm saying? That's how you're supposed to dress.
Right.
You know, we're not trying to look like Farrakhan.
Right.
You know, goddamn bow tie. You know what I'm saying? Clean shaven face and you just look like a straight female. You know what I'm saying?
God will come.
So, you know, we're just trying to further, you know how to identify these men. You know what I mean?
God will come.
And since we know how to identify these men, we know that we have to mark them and stay away from them.
Right.
Now, I want you to drop that. Give me Deuteronomy 18 and verse 20. And that's going to be the last scripture.
Brother Wakan.
Just make sure everybody's there. Deuteronomy 18, verse 20.
Oh, Akim Al-Kathim have it.
Right, read.
But the prophet, Deuteronomy chapter 18 and verse 20.
Yeah,
But the prophet which shall presume to speak a word in my name,
right.
which I have not commanded him to speak,
Mm-hmm.
or that shall speak in the name of other gods.
Right. Now, verse 18 says, I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren, like unto thee, and will put Slakia. That's verse 18. Deuteronomy 18 and 20 says, but the prophet which shall presume to speak a word in my name, which I have not commanded him to speak, or that shall speak in the name of other gods, even that prophet shall die.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That basically explains every philosophy out there. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, the Most High is telling you that he didn't ordain them to speak about that. Whether it's Egyptology, you know what I'm saying? They're teaching you about different philosophies. Muslims teaching about different philosophies. Christianity is teaching about different philosophies out there. You know what I'm saying? Because when they have Caesar Borgia, that's basically Esau, which ultimately is leading you to worship something different than what the Most High is telling you that you should worship. You know what I'm saying? Read verse 21.
Salaki, so you want me to finish reading that? There's one more after the comma.
Okay, go ahead.
Even that prophet shall die.
Right. And that's exactly what's going to happen.
Right.
Like we mentioned before, Eddie Long, big false prophet. You know, he basically died.
Right.
There's a lot of other false prophets out there that's dead.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then and a lot of them is dead spiritually. That's why they don't have no morals. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's why they don't care about us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They just care about the money. You know, there's a lot of videos out there. You know, the pastors living lavish. Everybody in the church, they got all the struggles. You know, pastors living good. You know what I mean? A lot of people is worshiping the pastors.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's not good. You know, those are false prophets. And ultimately, they're going to die.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Read verse 21.
Verse 21, and if thou say in thine heart, how shall we know the word which the Most High hath not spoken?
Right. You know what I'm saying? Now, the people, you know, they're smart. You know what I mean? They're asking questions. How are we going to know who's a false prophet or not? You know what I'm saying? This is how we're going to know who's a false prophet. Read.
Right. Verse 22, when a prophet speaketh in the name of the Most High,
Right.
if the thing follow not, nor come to pass, that is the thing which the Most High hath not spoken, but the prophet hath spoken it presumptuously.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's how you know, man. They're false prophet. Whatever they say, it doesn't come to pass.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Come.
They don't know what to prophesy.
Right.
Everything we're saying is the truth. And
Right.
it's coming to pass here
Right.
in the ICPK. You know what I'm saying? Under command of General Honor. Right?
Come.
That shows you that we're prophets, man. Everything that we're saying, man, happening.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's going to happen.
Come.
That's how we know. False prophets. I see many videos out there, you know, the pastors, you know, they feel like they could prophesy and tell you, oh, we're going to get rid of this demon. And, you know, people call in. They'll be like, yeah, just call in. We're going to pray for you and then you're going to be okay.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I see one of the brothers share that on Facebook, that video. Somebody call the pastor, right?
Right.
The one that screams, the pastor.
Right.
And then He's like, oh,
Yes,
in
man.
the name of Jesus,
Right.
and screaming all in the phone. You know what I'm saying? And then he was like, oh, we just prayed for you. So he's asking the guy, he's like, so how you feeling now? You know, Jesus is sending your blessing your way. The guy
Right.
is like, I don't feel nothing. I'm still in pain.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
These are false prophets, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? Anything they're trying to act like, you know what I'm saying, what they're saying is the truth, which
Right.
we know it's not. Right? Finish that real quick.
Salaki, sir.
Mhm.
And also, whatever they are saying will come to pass should line up with the scriptures as well.
Exactly.
You know, and a lot of what they do has nothing to do with the scripture.
Nothing at all.
Right.
Right?
Thou shalt not be afraid of him.
Right.
Right.
You know, don't be afraid of them false prophets, man.
Right.
Their words hold no value, man.
That's
None
right.
whatsoever, man.
That's right.
Nothing. Can't be afraid of them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like the scripture said, we have to mark them down and avoid them.
Right.
Because what they speak is vain things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's
Salaki.
it. Yeah?
And the beginning of and the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
Exactly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The fear of the Lord, man, is the beginning of wisdom, man.
Right.
And we're out here teaching the people how to get this wisdom, right?
Right.
Teaching our brothers and sisters how to be disciplined, man.
That won't come.
You know what I'm saying? How to come back to the law, statutes, commandments. You know what I mean? And once we
Okay.
start identifying these false prophets out there, we're going to know to stay away from them.
Right.
Because they prophesy lies in the Lord's name.
Right.
You know, whatever they do holds no weight. You know what I'm saying? Right. So ultimately, they're not good for our people.
That won't come.
You know what I'm saying? With that, we're going to end the class. That's my time. You know what I'm saying? With the ISUPK, started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yana. You know what I'm saying? This is the Connecticut class. You know what I'm saying? We're in Bridgeport, Connecticut. You know what I'm saying? In Black Rock. You know what I'm saying? That's where the library is. It's at 2705 Fairfield Avenue. And the number is 203-548-0040. Right? You could call for counsel or call to get direction. You could also call for the information for the conference call class. All right? Shalom, Israel.